Hey, this is Brian again, and I'd like to ask you to do a favor. We can't do this work without people like you, so if you can, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Bring Back the Porch.
The best glass you can use, it's called antique glass, and it's hand blown. There's one company in the States that still does it, but most of it is from Europe, like from Germany. There used to be companies in England and France, and they're gone.
Yeah, because nobody wants stained glass anymore?
It's so expensive now.
Okay.
That's the biggest problem. It's a window I could have made 10 years ago for $1,000 would now probably cost you at least $5,000 or $6,000.
Boy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This episode of Bring Back the Porch brought to you by Bernie Leahy, River Street Realty. Let's get you home. If you have been around Medicine Hat in the last little while and been observant, you probably have seen in the corner of the Esplanade an old stained glass window. And if you have driven down Fifth Avenue, past the Fifth Avenue Memorial Church or St. John's Presbyterian Church, or past the St. Barnabas Anglican Church, you've seen this man's work. And I'm very pleased to welcome into the porch this morning, Robert Weissmann. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yes. Now, I was saying before we went on the air that your work fascinates me. You work with stained glass. And to me, that... I just think of my fingers getting cut. But you have chosen that as a medium. How did you become a glass artist?
One of my dad's brothers was a master in glass back in Toronto. And I remember, I was probably 14 or 15. I spent a weekend with him. And he showed me how to build a lamp, which I still have. And that was sort of the start of it.
Like a Tiffany-style lamp?
No, we just built like a four-sided lamp. Okay. You put a candle in the middle. And
okay. Yeah. So what was it about the glass that spoke to you?
Just the feel.
Really?
You know? Mm-hmm. I've always said that doing stained glass is a touch work, you know? And... yeah, that's how I got into it.
So it was just a natural marriage between you and the glass.
I think so. You know, I was doing drawing and sculpting at the time, and when I found glass, everything just came together. Mm-hmm. And I was really fortunate enough to get an apprenticeship in Toronto back in the late 70s, I guess. So that happened for 3 years. And then myself and another fellow who was apprenticing, of course, we learned so much, we went and started our own business. And it went quite well. We were doing a lot of new windows and a lot of restoration.
Yeah. The restoration is what we have seen you do here in Medicine Hat. I meant in Fifth Avenue, St. Barnabas, and St. John. Any of those three projects stick out in your mind as being special, or are they all unique?
They're all unique because they're all different styles. But Fifth Avenue became my second home. You know, even when I was living back in Victoria, I was still restoring windows in Fifth Avenue, so I was coming back and forth. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just love being in that church, you know.
It's peaceful.
Very peaceful, and the way the sun comes in and catches the colors, south, and that whole room just kind of dances.
Yeah, it does. The history of stained glass, though, that goes back centuries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you, as part of your apprenticeship, have to learn all of that?
No.
So you didn't have to worry about the history. You just worried about
what was what was in front of you. But fortunately, 2 years ago, my wife and I went to France. And the windows that I had seen most of my life in the books on stained glass, they were there, you know, and it was just an amazing thing to stand in front of. And you know, some of those windows are over 1,000 years old.
Yeah. It's amazing that the glass has not shattered over that period of time. Does it become brittle with age?
Not really.
Really?
Oh. No, it's what amazes me is how they got those windows way up in those cathedrals.
With the equipment they had in
Exactly.
those days, too, yeah.
You know, and even how they built those cathedrals. It was, it's just, my mouth just opened up and nothing came out, you know.
You were in awe.
Oh, yeah.
As most of us are when we look at those, the artistry of stained glass. I'm thinking, too, that when they had to lift those frames into place with the glass, would the glass have been in the frames, or would the glass have been put into the frame after it was installed?
After it was installed.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking the torsion, that would just be too much for that glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your latest project is one that also fascinates me, and that is the restoration of the stained glass windows from the St. Teresa's Academy that once graced the south face of Crescent Heights. Tell me how you got involved in that.
I believe it was back in 2011 or 12. I got an email, and I was living in Victoria at the time, and it was an email from the Historic Society here in Medicine Hat, and they asked me if I could go and assess these windows that they were looking at to bring back. The windows were at a place called Capital Iron, and they were outside sitting on a sea can.
No.
You know, lying horizontal, and they'd been out there for 30 years or so.
Yeah, since the 1973 when they took
When
down
they took them down, right. So the guy got a forklift, took them off the sea can, and of course, 3 of these windows were 15 feet or 16 feet tall, and 2 were 20. So they were bouncing, and we got them on the ground. There was plywood over top of them. I took the plywood off, and you could just see the breakage of glass that had happened over the years, and the frames, the wooden frames. I mean, they were original frames from France also.
1913, yeah.
So there was they needed to be restored.
And you were the man to do it.
Well, yeah, I was. And I sent them my report, and I never heard anything back until I actually moved to Medicine Hat here. I think it was in 2018 or 17. I got a phone call from Judy Morris.
Oh, yes, from the Historical Society.
Yeah. And she wanted me to come and assess these windows again because they're in Medicine Hat now.
Oh, they hadn't been in Medicine Hat. Oh.
No.
Oh.
No, they were in Victoria.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a circuitous route.
Well, apparently, when the windows were removed from the original academy, one of the people that removed them, one of the workers, his wife, had been to school there.
Okay.
And they were a company from Victoria, I think. And so, obviously, nobody cared about the windows, and they just took them.
Yeah.
And then now the Historic Society was trying to bring them back.
Okay.
So I went and I looked at the windows again, and we assessed them again because now they'd moved some more times, so they were bouncing more. And they were at a truck firm here. And then I guess they moved them again, so they're bouncing again, to IXL.
Okay.
And that's where I went a third time to go and see them. And that's when some decisions were made on, we're going to restore these things, but we have to find a place for them.
Where to put them when they're finished.
And that proved to be the hardest part because of the size.
Yeah.
And I know the Historic Society tried really hard to place these, and it just didn't happen. Okay. So they came to me and said, you want to buy them? And we talked about it, and they were talking about maybe selling them to a firm in Calgary that, I doubt they would have restored them.
Probably would have broken them up into smaller parcels.
Right, I would think so. And I didn't want to see the windows leave Medicine Hat again.
Good for you.
You know, there's historic value in that. There's a story in it. You know, I've only lived here about 10 years, but I've heard a lot of stories about a lot of buildings that disappeared.
Yep, lost to the sands of time.
Yeah. And that's a real shame.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what I was going to do with them.
Explain that to your wife.
Well, the good news there was, I mean, I told the Historic Society I didn't want the windows if I had to move them from IXL, because I had nowhere to put them.
Yep.
And thankfully, I could store them there.
Okay, so you began work on restoring them around 2019, 20? Do you have a time frame?
I think around 2019, because up until then, there was nobody who wanted them.
So there was no rush.
There was no rush. But there's a lot of fear on my side, because I was thinking, what am I going to do with these things?
Yeah.
You know, if anything happens to me or whatever.
When you started working on them, the condition compared to when you first looked at them in Victoria in 2010 and all the moves in between, I guess there had been further damage?
There had.
Lots of small pieces?
Just a lot of cracks in the glass. I mean, the lead is good for about 70 years in a perfect world.
70?
70.
Okay.
And then it starts to break down. The cement in it starts to crumble, and then the windows get really loose. You know, you could bang on them and they'd rattle. They start to buckle and bow.
Okay.
And these windows were definitely at that stage without the forklifts.
Prodding them further along,
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned the lead. That's a key component of stained glass windows. Why did they choose lead when they first started making stained glass? Was there something that made it flexible, or was it just something that worked out?
Well, it is flexible. Why they started with lead, I don't know.
Lost to history, eh?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
The art form or the craft has not changed in well over 1,000 years. The tools are basically the same.
Wow.
You know, and all you need is a glass cutter and your hands.
And
well, that's experience.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't come right away.
Yeah. I think experience is probably hard learned, because if you break something, how do you put it back together again?
Well, you can. I mean, if you have really, really old windows and you want to keep it totally original, you'll just lead everything together.
Okay.
You know, all the broken pieces, you'll keep those. Sometimes if you're doing repairs and restoration, you may make a new piece and try to replicate the old piece that came out.
Is all stained glass the same, or they all have different properties? Because is it a special kind of glass that you have to use?
It depends on the job, and it depends on the budget. The best glass you can use, it's called antique glass, and it's hand blown. There's one company in the States that still does it, but most of it is from Europe, like from Germany. There used to be companies in England and France, and they're gone.
Yeah, because nobody wants stained glass anymore?
It's so expensive now.
Okay.
That's the biggest problem. It's you know, a window I could have made 10 years ago for $1,000 would now probably cost you at least $5,000 or $6,000.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay. When you go down to the corner of the Esplanade, facing on the southwest corner, you can still see one of the original windows from St. Teresa's there, unrestored.
Yep.
And also around the corner, there's various smaller pieces. That is your work as well, I believe.
Yes. There's 4 showcases, and I was asked last year if I would like to put my work in those showcases for 6 months. And, yeah.
And it's done now. Do you have plans to restore that one that is in the corner? This probably be about 5 or 6 feet, I think.
If anybody wants it, I'll do it.
Okay.
There is still glass left. Like, I made 3 windows, 3 15-foot windows out of the 5 windows that were originally, because a lot of glass was broken. You know, so that's what I had to work with. And there's still some left of the original glass. If somebody wants something made with it, you know, I'll definitely do it, but I don't really have any plans.
Okay. Now, the windows you have restored will see life again in Medicine Hat.
They
from
will.
St. Teresa's. They're going into the new Holy Trinity Church, Holy Trinity School that is being built in Crescent Heights.
Yes.
Which is fitting because it's about a block and a half away from where they used to.
Exactly.
Be. Yeah. So everything comes full circle through you.
And they'll face the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. So probably next year, 2027.
27. I'm really excited to see them standing together. I could stand one up at a time in my studio. And it was pretty cool. But to see 3 of them together, it's going to be something.
Okay. You also have an exhibition in the Esplanade right now between today and yesterday. It runs until April 4th.
Right.
What will people see there?
Well, they'll see one of the windows from St. Teresa's that's not restored. They'll see in one of the other showcases, I do sculpture in glass.
Okay.
So that'll be in one of the showcases. And then in another one, I made a window just for the show, and it's painted. And I used a lot of old wooden frames to set the glass in. And there's also a window that was scraps from a job I did at St. Peter's Lutheran.
In Medicine Hat?
In Medicine Hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So
fascinating.
Those are the four showcases.
Do you blow the glass yourself?
No.
Oh, you have never tried that?
I have tried it. I would love to do it, but it's so expensive to do it, to get the equipment and stuff like that, that wisely I just said no.
Okay. Are you familiar with the history of glass in Medicine Hat? That we used to have a place where they made blown glass.
I've been told that.
Yes, Alta Glass.
Yes.
Yeah, and some of that work is still prized by collectors.
They have some down at the Esplanade, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of the places that people went to see as tourists when they came through Medicine Hat, because it was quite amazing to watch them with their long rods in the fire and turning it and blowing it.
Yeah.
And it really was a sight to see. And sadly, again, something else we've lost through the history of our city. But tell me about the name of your exhibit, between today and yesterday.
That came, I guess it's my work. I deal with a lot of stuff from yesterday. And doing the new window that I did for this show, that was between today, and everything else is in between.
Okay.
And it just...
Sort of like a caption of your life work.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, people that are listening to this or watching and thinking, I wonder if he could do something for me. How do they get a hold of you?
They could phone me.
Okay. Do you want to give your phone number out?
Sure.
Or we can just put it up on the screen for them.
It's 250-383-4197.
Okay. And you also have a Facebook page.
Yes.
And
That's just Weissmann Glassworks.
With 2 S's and 2 N's.
Correct.
All right. Robert Weissmann, I am very thankful that you came in for the visit.
Thank you.
You take care.
I enjoyed.
Hey, this is Brian again, and I'd like to ask you to do a favor. We can't do this work without people like you, so if you can, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Bring Back the Porch.